Aluseko ulusizi inyembezi ziyasura kayelihle kaya lami kayelihle kaya lami mangingene esangweni mangizibu uze kuwe kayelihle kaya lami sengiyezwa ubumnandi ubuvela uwe kaya kayelihle kaya lami kayelihle kaya lami kayelihle mangingene samani mangisiku uze kuwe kayelihle kaya lami Thank you very much indeed, directors of the program, Phalatse family, our Koshi Yapalankwe. Baruti Barena, the community, and all those who are here, ministers, deputy ministers. Now, I'm not sure whether you can sing Zulu. Because Pelezela, intokazi la siphelezela igaba. Somlandela, somlandela uJesu, somlandela konke indawo. Sumlandila, very much. And thank you. I want to start by thanking the lady who came here and gave an account which was touching. An account of her knowing what was wrong with our child when the medical people could not diagnose the ailment. There are very few people who could do so and insist and convince the medical people and indeed help the young child finally to connect with people who would know what to do. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you very much for your being an exemplary citizen of this country and a good neighbor. You touched me very, very much. I wish many of our citizens were like you, with a heart like you, to become the mother of this lady and help the mother to finally know exactly what was the problem. Premier, and indeed the entire leadership of the province, are here to say goodbye to this wonderful lady. I had hoped I was going to have a friend for a time. When I saw her in the past on the TV, hearing about this very rare ailment, not knowing that one day I will meet her, I was hoping that this ailment should be treated by those who know how to cure people. When I heard that this lady had a wish among them to see the president of the country, and I said, I would certainly put many things aside and meet this young girl. Could have been anybody else. Whoever would have been the president, who would have helped to fulfill the wish of Ontlametse. I looked forward to see her. I had my own picture about her. That impression I had changed as he walked in on a particular day when she came. She walked very proudly and came to shake my hand, to hug with the mother and a gentleman who later introduced himself as Ngubane from KwaMhlabuyaLingana and a member of the trust, and apologized for other trust members who could not make it. There was another lady who is also a medical lady who was accompanying them. And as she sat very proudly on the chair, she walked in and put her back and sat and wapalufo. ngabona ukuthi this lady is proud. She immediately said, this lady who is with us, I used to hate her because she was doing something to my teeth, and I felt such a pain that I was hating. I never thought she would be my friend. And I realized this is a dynamic lady. She's saying it as she feels it. And we started talking. I love talking, I love laughing, I love happiness. And we connected immediately. And of course, you wouldn't ask a question. She answers the question before you ask, because she tells you what's happening. And then I got the background given particularly by the member of the trust, who gave a very touching work that they were doing with her, and how they came to know her. They have a kind of a grouping of their own, of the professionals. They always, I'm not sure whether he said a year, try to do something that is helpful to other people. Because they'd heard about this lady, they decided on a particular period that they were then going to link up with her and do something. As I listened to this gentleman, I was saying to myself, I wish many professionals were like this. Because if we had many of them, many destitute and needy people will have people assisting them. And I was very happy. I was very happy to hear from the lady who was speaking here that indeed when they called at the right time, when the need was very high. And indeed, we sat and had some tea, and this young lady was talking, and talking one way, and very articulate, very bright. I mean everything. You know, she explained her ailment. The fact that what this ailment does to the body, I heard from her, not from a doctor. And I got to understand, as particularly the trustee was explaining the challenges. But I was so happy that being such a kind, ordinary person, I could have the capacity to fulfill the wish of this young lady, just to meet her. And she was saying, I've made my day. And we discussed a number of things, and I really took time, because I was touched, because I had seen her on the TV. Here I was seeing her in person. And I felt that there are people, because the trust itself was not a trust with everything. And at times when people talk about NGOs or whatever, there are NGOs who have a lot of money for wrong things. I really appreciated this, because I felt this trust has lessened the burden of the mother and the family. But as she talked, she was explaining the plight, how much she, and I realized she also goes to the United States for the researchers to be able to follow and research this ailment. it was clear from the discussion that, again, the trips are not easy. They don't have the resources to do so. First, I said to myself, well, without talking, still listening, I can see the place that I'm going to play some role. Because as she would be going, I should be able to contribute to something. At least that is easy, because you could take out whatever amount of money and just say, please do something along the way. She then talked about the hustle of going to Johannesburg to see the doctors, on public transport, people pushing her around, and began to articulate some of the wishes she has. A wish to have a car, and another wish to have a house, because they would need a house that they would feel comfortable with the mother. And she said, well, I've fulfilled this one of meeting the president. I'm with you now. That one is gone. I'm now looking forward to these ones. I then, as I was responding to her, indicated that I have a trust and a foundation. They are basically more focusing on education. But the foundation focuses on a number of things, but primarily education. And I did not even have to think about what we can do. My foundation and trust are very poor. I then said, I am going to request that they allow me to ask that my foundation becomes a friend of the trust. So that my foundation could participate in what the trust is doing in supporting her. And as she had articulated her wishes, I said to her, you have a wish for the house, considered done. The foundation or whatever. I do a lot of such in many ways, but I thought this was even more urgent for the foundation to do. And I said, you have a wish for the car, considered done. Besides making her happy, I wanted really to ease her life, to participate in the process of doing this. And I was looking forward that we will work together for a long time and try to make her life even much easier. Having heard about the ailment itself, I thought maybe if we gave full support, she could spend even more years, since she had proved that those scientifically knowing about the disease had made a kind of estimation that she was able to overcome and lived even more. And I was saying to myself, why couldn't she live double the years? And I then said, I want to invite you to my birthday. I'm born on the 12th of April. Oh, she jumped. I will be there in a special way as she threw her wonderful eyes all directions. And I said, I took the decision even without consulting with the foundation. Because in the foundation I've got people with good hearts, and I knew they wouldn't have a problem. And of course, we parted, family saying we'll meet on the birthday. I was looking forward. When I phoned the chairperson of the foundation, she said, I've seen the news and I realized we have committed the foundation. I have recorded it all. Consider it done. And I was looking forward to the 12th in a hurry because I wanted to take her by surprise. I gave instruction to the foundation, buy a car. I want to surprise her on the birthday, my birthday. I want to give her a car as a gift to fulfill her wish. And indeed, the car was bought. They were putting logos in the car, and I was saying, I'm going to surprise her. She will feel good, and the mother will feel good. Little did I know that God, who has secrets about all of us, about when we shall depart from this earth, had taken a decision. Because death is a secret only known by God. Even my brothers here who look after us spiritually don't know. I was shocked. Partly because she was as healthy as anything, bubbly, wonderful, talking. How could she? I couldn't imagine what happened. A decision had been taken by the trust to begin building the house. I was saying to myself, it's time to get in the house. For days, we don't know. It come to. Then we take this foundation that we will give now the car to the mother, so that the mother should use it. Oh, yeah. That giving it to the mother is just as good as giving it to her. After all, they were both going to use it. And we continue building the house for the mother. Of course, on the 12th of April, the mother, the aunt, and other relatives were there. We brought the car. Mama, felt the pain of her passing, but it was a consolation. The mother would now have a car to go around, and that should remind that it is because of her daughter. But I also hope that the medical people in particular should realize that we need to do more research on ailments, particularly those that are rare, because it would always be very difficult to cure that one. They could have done research ahead. I hope the I don't know whether we said society, foundation or whatever, said the foundation, should in fact say a research should be done so that a diagnosis generally is done once a baby is born, so that we can deal with it early enough. I think the medical profession should, in fact, given this experience, one of the legacies should be that as a result of her being the only black in the world who had this, we must now start something to prevent it from happening to many. Because the research, I'm sure, will indicate what are the causes. Are they preventable? I think those are the kind of things, in my view, that as you do the legacy of this wonderful lady, we should also be saying she has indeed made us to look at the direction we've never looked before and begin to address that challenge. I would really like to thank the mother, very strong, and the family, to say you were able to make this wonderful lady live a happy life. She was indeed something out of this world. I enjoyed the time I was with her and enjoyed what she was saying and her thinking and her beliefs. And she said one of her wish was to be a motivational speaker. And I think she had almost started. And I was saying, I want to follow her wherever she goes to listen to her, because she was a wonderful speaker. However, nature has deprived us of her. I took the words, my good sister, when you talked about the response of the departments, which means we have a problem. If we were knocking at the departments of government and there was no proper response, I think it says we have a problem which we must address. I noted that because it means I must address that. As you were speaking, I was saying to myself, how many more people who are like you, who had no time to give this kind of report, who have suffered, who might therefore not be very happy with some departments. It means there is something we need to do. Because I thought departments are there for the people. You don't pick and choose. Any citizen who comes must be attended to, without discrimination, without picking and choosing. So I took notes of that, and perhaps at the right time, you must give me the names of those departments. Perhaps you were very diplomatic not to name and shame them. And so you will give it to me so that I can do the follow-up. But I would like to thank the family that you gave me the opportunity to be with you, to come and bid farewell to this young girl, to this first lady. It is, again, a lesson to all of us as South Africans that we need to work together. And I want again to refer to this lady because to me you are wonderful. You know, this is how neighbors should be. It's a difficult thing Hence it appears in the Ten Commandments, because it's not easy to love your neighbor as you love yourself. You are a shining example. You left your husband, your everything, to come to help the neighbor. It's unique. If I was a media, I was going to write volumes, but they are busy writing something else. Because it is a lesson to us. When we say we want to build South Africa, that is different from the old ones. In other words, we must produce human beings like yourself. Wonderful human beings with wonderful hearts. To me, if I was a journalist, I would put the biggest headline on the newspaper. But the one that often happens, we start with Z. Always out. Because that is the education we have to give to our citizens, to our people, to our leaders. Thank you very much. Really, you will give me more details. I even want to know what is it that you studied, whatever. But that is a different matter. If, for an example, the other point which to me is important. If I was a pastor and I got to know about this, I would have done something. Now, I never went to school. I wanted to be a pastor. Unfortunately, I couldn't, because I couldn't go to school. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a lawyer. All of that I couldn't be, because I never went to school. But I think the job of the holy people is to try to address such issues. But that is not the main thing. The main thing is that it is important that all of us should have good hearts towards one another. So I'm telling you, she has been a lesson. She made many things. She achieved a lot that many of us who are about 75 have not achieved. We'd like to thank her. I'm sure I would not be wrong if I say she walked into the gates of heaven and they opened while she was still coming. She's sitting with Almighty now. Thank you very much. And I would like to thank the community to come in your numbers to bid her farewell. She deserves it. I'd like to thank you very much indeed. Mine was just to indicate that I met a wonderful young girl who made me even more stronger. And I thought, in fact, my inviting her for the birthday was the first. I thought in December I would invite her to Nkandla. Because in December at Nkandla I have a Christmas for the children. And it has been there for more than a decade. I wanted to enjoy that Christmas with her. And unfortunately, just happened that I will no longer enjoy that. But thank you very much. Family, condolences once again. You must know, you had a hero who played her role during her time and did not waste time. She used the time maximally and succeeded to do whatever she wanted to do. She wanted to meet the president. She did. She was the go-getter. She wanted a car, she got it. She wanted a house, she got it. Go well. Go well, our hero, our First Lady. You made an impact, you felt it. That's why we're all here. Thank you very much.